April 1st, you guys. How about that? 6:57. Time's flying by, ain't it? Y'all ready? I know I am. Time's getting very, very close. It's at hand. The time's come. I hope everybody's ready for it. Remember what Jesus said. We must be born again. Okay? We must be born again. The time's here. It's at hand. We don't have much longer. You know, I just sit back and I reflect on some of the things that I've seen, that I've witnessed by myself, that no one else has, you know. But there's a reason why, excuse me, there's a reason why I just got to witnessing all these things. I witnessed a lot of stuff that nobody else has seen, and there's a reason for it. You know, it was meant for me to see, where others, you know, others probably, I don't think it really much matters that others see it or believe it. It was meant for me and me alone, for my eyes only. Like when I was at the Tarpon Springs, I wasn't at the cross dive. I was walking my dog that morning about 4:30. You know, it was around that time, maybe 4:40 in that area. And that's when I seen that black spirit rising up out of the water wearing a Spanish sombrero hat. There's a reason why only I seen it. You know, I mean, I could sit there and talk till I'm blue in the face telling people about it. But, you know, the only thing that I got to confirm that is that day they threw 2 crosses in. And it's the first time. Some guy in the audience said that it happened in 1976. But you know what? Look it up in 76 and see if it did. I highly doubt it. They've been doing that for 107 years there, okay? And there's never been a record of something like that. Nothing that I've ever found at the Greek Orthodox cross dive. It's, number one, why are they even throwing something like in there? And then saying that somebody like that is going to be blessed for retrieving the cross? You know, if anything, they're disrespecting it. You know what I mean? They do a lot of images, just like the Catholic Church, you know, a lot of images, idols. The things that are an abomination, you know, they just don't know it, you know. Well, some of them know it, but a lot of people are being led, deceived by wolves. You know, it's like sheep being led to the slaughter. And that's what's happening today. They're being led to the slaughter and they don't even know it. Well, a lot of these people were just, you know, when the churches had all that division, you know, and I know a lot of you guys heard this saying before, where somebody come to say, "What religion are you?" Okay? What religion are you? I had somebody come to me and say that one time, and then they laughed at me, and I'm like, I didn't like that. You know, when they said, "What religion are you?" And I'm like, you know what? I knew that was one of the demonic spirits right there coming up to me, taunting me. Because they know that I'm with the Lord, Jesus Christ, okay? That my body is being used as a host. Okay? And they know this. That's why they taunt me like that. You know? I've had it several times. At one time at the campground, when I had that older black lady, when she goes, "Aren't you afraid staying back there by yourself?" I looked at her, I said, "No." I said, "Because greater is he that is in me than what is in this world." And let me tell you, I couldn't even get a campfire started back there. Everything was wet. Everything, even the bathroom across from where I was at, everything was like soaking wet. It was demonic. You know, they had evil spirits all over back there, man. It was all nasty, wet. You know, nobody was camping back there where I was at. There's a cemetery back there owned by the Myers, or the Myers family used to get buried back there. That's the same name as my football coach that tried to hire me at the stadium. It's just that time, you guys, you know? Then that guy when I was driving the auto parts, you know? Guy looked right at me, he goes, I know that you would destroy me if you could. And I said, what'd you say? And he goes, I know that you would destroy me if you could. And I knew right away that that was a demonic spirit that was hosting that guy. That's why I'm always telling you guys about this, man. This is very real. That's a spirit that's entered that woman. She lost control of her body, her functions. Okay? Spirit's got her. You know? A lot of your television, news media, they're all had. You know? They're all had. I wouldn't even bother watching news today, man. You watching the news, man, they're just telling you what you want to hear. See, a lot of those people, your idols, stuff like that, a lot of those people are being hosted right now, being taken over. That's why it says be careful what you seek here. Because you might find it, but you may not like what you get once you get there. You know, when I heard that voice coming out of my football coach when I told him the games were over, you know, no. I knew right away that, you know, he's a puppet. They use him. They use him. Okay? I tried talking in the churches about what a host was. You know, because, I mean, they don't want to discuss that kind of stuff. A lot of the churches have been hijacked. But this is something that's happened for a long time. You know, a lot of years, man. A lot of years. Churches fell away a long time ago. And most people don't know it. You know, and you got all these different, what do they call it? Different names of churches and stuff. That's division, divided. You know, and Jesus said a house divided wouldn't stand. You know. Ain't that something? But anyhow, I am so looking forward to this being over, you know. Tired of it, man. Just tired. It's enough to, it's going to be over any time, though, you guys. Remember what I said. They're all around you, okay? They're all around you. Okay? Remember, this is a spiritual battle. That girl that you see, just remember this now. Now, I'm serious. They've been hosting people from the beginning here. From the very beginning. The only difference is the veil is being lifted. That's the reason why some of us know exactly. And that's the reason why they're doing what they're doing. That's the reason why they're going to cause a lot of chaos here. Martial law will come into effect, all that. Because that's how they keep control. But you guys got to remember, this has always been about souls. It's always been about the devil standing at the throne of God all the time, saying how unworthy these people are. You know, he's always said how unworthy they are. They weren't worthy of his kingdom. And so all this was basically set up for failure, you know. That's why Christ said, follow me, not what was in the world. He said the devil's the ruler of this world, and if you follow what's in this world, you're going to lose your soul. You can see, you know, pretty much what it's done to a lot of people. When you lose your fear of God, let me tell you something. You know, having fear of God doesn't mean that you're not going to love him. You know, it just, you know. You know, it's like respecting somebody that you know that can destroy you. You know, that's perfect knowledge, man. That's the beginning of knowledge. You know, and then you look at the love that he has for you, and he's always loved us from the beginning. Always. You know, from the beginning. That's why our names are in the book of life. You know, the names that are found written in the book of life. They've been there before, way before we ever even existed on this place. That don't tell you something. You know what I'm saying? You know, just knowing what I know, Yeah, I just wish I would have known it a long time ago. But the church is, like I said, in our generations, even in our parents' generations, we've all been deceived, okay? But they had more fear of the Lord 200 years ago than they have today. Today, there's no fear of the Lord here. None. But if you totally understood what's in that Bible and you totally followed what's in the Word of God there, let me tell you something, man. We would have been more victorious than ever, because that Bible tells you exactly those that are with the Lord, they don't have nothing to fear. Those that have the Lord, nothing to fear. The only ones that have to fear are the ones that don't have the Lord. That's the reason why he was removed out of our schools, out of our government. I'm just a little surprised that none of the churches, I guess it goes back to all the division that we had in all the churches, the different names, different everything. Told you when that girl walked up to me and she had lots of red streaks in her hair. First thing she said to me, she was, "What is your religion?" I said, well, there's another one, It's as if they know they could see me coming a mile away, and they talk like, oh. Another time I had it when I walked into a store, a woman inside the store lifted her top up at me, exposing herself. And I turned around and I started walking away, and she goes, "Sir, sir, sir." She called me back again, and I turned around and looked, and she did the same thing with the other side. It's a demonic spirit, They were mocking me, is what they were doing, They're here. They let me know. They let me know that they were here and they were all around me. So I had no illusions of what was going on. But trying to get other people to believe what I was saying, that's another story. It's not an easy thing to do. But anyhow, you guys, God bless you, man. And know this, these photos, they're all real, okay? The time's at hand now. When I'm telling you about these spirits that are hosting people, remember, Ephesians 6, it says we wrestle not with flesh and blood, okay? So whatever you might be coming up against right now, remember, it's spiritual, okay? It's spiritual. Don't look at your flesh and blood. You got a spirit that's dwelling inside this body. And remember, greater is he that is in you, okay? Believing, faith, okay? You gotta have faith, man. Look at the Bible. Everybody that ever dealt with Jesus, and he says, because of your faith. And he said, never have I seen greater faith than this. It's important, you guys. Trust me, man. Study on that stuff, man. Jesus wouldn't say that otherwise, okay? God bless you. And remember, we have to be born again. We're getting ready to go and start working on understanding what your spirit is, okay? Because you're going to have to let go of all this stuff. Don't be looking to hang on to it. And have trust and peace, believing. Once you have faith in him, no matter what you see happening around you, you ain't going to worry about it, man. I've had death threats, people telling me, if you looked underneath your truck, you probably got bombs on it. So what, I don't fear death, Once you get to that point, you trust in the Lord, you don't have nothing to worry about. Okay? God bless you guys. I love each and every one of you. Look up. Know that our redemption is very, very close. Okay? God bless you.